coming at you live in January. Hello, Susan Louise and Sarah Louise.
And Sarah Louise. You know what? I'm glad that we're like caught up to, before we were like a little bit ahead where we were talking about, for the holidays, and we had to like kind of do things in the future, and then I didn't remember what we talked about. But now it's nice because it feels like I get to talk about things that are happening right in real life.
That is nice.
Yes.
Yeah, pre-recording isn't ideal.
Yes. Well, because I'm not very good at like faking it, as you know.
No, but I'll tell you when we enjoy it, the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's.
Oh, yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Oh, we can be people.
Right. And we never take vacations or like take breaks. Like it is kind of crazy when you think about how
we're at your
many of these we've done. Over and over.
We act like it's
relentless.
So hard.
I know. Meanwhile, I'm like,
it's the highlight
recording
of my week.
with my bestie. Yeah. It's so fun. I did read something / see something on my Instagram feed that said seeing your best friend's face has the same effect as like, I don't know, something really wonderful. Like, but basically it is really good for you.
I think so. I think that's true. Don't you think so?
I know so.
Yeah. I know so too. I was sad recently. I don't remember what inspired it, but I was thinking about something that I saw of you. I don't know what it was, but I just was like, man, we used to like record in person.
I know. We were talking about that the other day. Yeah.
Yeah. That must have been what made me reflect on
fun.
That. It was so fun. And we didn't even appreciate it.
I know. We didn't. I was just talking about this. Maybe I was talking to you. Was I talking about the drive home?
Now that you're saying that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, oh, this was us talking. I was like, even the drive home was so like the to and from, and we could just, you don't know what you got until, but like we said.
Joni Mitchell never lies.
That is also great because that's also a line from a song. So that was like
Janet Jackson. Yes.
That was like a sub quote. So tip of the hat there.
Yeah, because she does sample
Joni Mitchell never lies.
Yes. It's true.
So yes, I do miss that, but I am excited that we are going to be reunited soon. You're going to be, it's crazy how much you've come to Colorado. Thank you so much for that.
I know. It's been a real treat because you're there, and that's why I've been going, and now my sister's moving there.
It's the best.
I mean, basically, you're stuck with me, whether you like it or not.
I love it. I'm so excited. And I'm also hoping that you bring the snow. So
I usually do.
I know. That's good. We did have one little hint of it last weekend.
What was like flurries?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they got a little bit. Yeah, some flurries. I mean, they were melted. It was melted in 2 days. But so Amy and I went up to the mountains, and we, I got the whole car camp set up, and it's been 60 degrees. Hot.
It's insane.
Hot. We're like, this'll be no problem. So we just like throw in the sleeping bags,
all
and
that
then
stuff. Shiver me timbers.
Suze.
Oh, no.
When I say a cold front came in, a cold front, a bottom, a side, another side,
no.
all the colds came in. It
so
was
-4
degrees. And I would say I was not prepared.
Well, yeah. And did you hit the road, Jack? I mean, turn that car on and get the hell out of there.
Well, we made it through the night, and it was fine. And the funny thing was...
That's hideous.
It was hideous. And my girlfriend kept saying, I was like... Because she couldn't sleep. And I'm like, of course you can't sleep. It's freaking freezing. No, you can't. Your body's like, you can't go to sleep in this. You have to stay alive. You know?
It's like the little match girl over there.
Yeah, exactly. So we're like, naked because you got to keep warm with body heat and everything.
Yes.
And we've got like the sleeping bag pulled up over our heads. But then when it's pulled up over our heads, I go, it's because it's too cold. She goes, I'm not cold, actually. I'm warm. And I go,
oh no, that's like
cold.
The first sign of like hypothermia.
And then she goes, it's just that I can't breathe like when it's over our heads. And so she goes, I have to put my head out to breathe, but then I'm too cold. And I go, correct, which means you're too cold. Which means we need this, and poor little thing has like a shaved head. So I'm basically wearing 4 beanies on the top of my head because of all this hair I got going on. And she's got nothing. And so she's really cold on her. I felt so bad. But so we have a game plan. It was terrible. So then
is the game plan stay home?
Yeah, and hotel points.
Okay,
but
good.
yeah, so that, but
I'm really glad you're saying that because this is out of control.
yeah, and we and then without getting like our heating pad and all that stuff, you actually need those things. We learned this the hard way because we were thinking like with the two of us when we're camp, it gets so hot in there. I had no idea how difficult it would be. We both were
honestly
unaware.
I don't know what I have
we
to
were
do.
fine. I know it. I knew it. I was like, Susie would hate this. We say that. We're like,
It
imagine.
is often the
what
case that
Susie
like
is gonna
I
say.
hear your voice during different moments of my life. I'm sure
yeah.
you hear mine.
Oh yeah.
But Sarah told me that somebody gave her a camp shower, like
Correct.
a makeshift weird shower. It's nice, but a nice gift. But like as soon as she told me this, I said, "Do you know about
Right.
houses?"
Inside. I know. I thought I
Like-
had it right next to me.
Because Sarah has like kitchen stuff, like
Oh, yeah.
like hot plates, and like I'm just like, this is what a house is.
You're 100% right. I do. And we went and camped out in the lot with all the other people who are camping out, which makes you feel like you're not going to die because there's like 100
and
other
that's
cars
so
doing
that
the
you
same
can
thing.
go snowboarding.
Yeah. So the next day,
That's different.
we were at the lot. They were
You have
having
a goal. That's different.
We have a goal. This is, and it was the mountain was having a 50th birthday party for this side
Why
of the
don't you
mountain.
post anything about this?
Well, I'm going. Well, first of all, we were miserable for a lot of that made it so there were no.
That's
we
the
should have.
content I wanna
have taken
see.
photos because we were both like laughing and crying. It was.
Those are my favorite Amy and Sarah moments.
We should, but then we were so happy the next day to wake up. I do have video. I have fun video, and there were so many people there, and it was a huge party. And then
Yeah.
we accidentally, and then there were too many people on the side of the mountain we were on, so we go to the other side of the mountain, and then we're like trying to make our way back over, and we end up in the ski parade. Where we come down the side of the mountain with no joke, like 1,000 people. We just turn one corner. We're like, what the fuck is
We're
this?
in a
And
parade.
and it's like ski patrol with like flags and everything. And we're like, we are definitely in this video.
How do you accidentally
We didn't
end
know
up
when they were
in a
starting
ski
it.
parade?
We accidentally ended up in a ski parade. I have no idea. We were coming from one side of the mountain trying to avoid the crowds, and then as we make our way back over to the car, their final run of the day, we end up in the wave with everybody, like crossing the finish line with all the people with their flags, and we're like,
funny.
oh my god, this is so fun. And then they have a huge
Ski
party.
people are weird. You guys are
they are so
quirky.
weird, so weird and so quirky, and good lord, so cold. But then that evening, there was a band that was having this free concert, and it's this concert in town, and they calling it like Après in town, like the whole town is celebrating this like big like 50th anniversary of the side of the mountain that's called Mary Jane. So that's fun, and it's
Yeah,
like Mary
that's your
Jane's
favorite
50th
side.
birthday. Everybody's making it a party. We were so fucking cool. We go to dinner after we're skiing, and we're there with another friend too, and she's all stoked, and we're like getting excited and everything. But she's getting excited, and Amy and I are like, there is zero chance we are going to this concert. It was still another 2 hours until they go on. My butt was so fucking cold. It's like the kind of cold if you've been like, when we did challenges and it was something like sit on an ice cube for hours. Yeah, that's what I felt like. And I was in the wrong gear because I thought it was going to be hot. So I brought my like springtime stuff. Meanwhile, the whole day it was -4 until like noon. And we made it super fun, but I was like, nope, I'm too old for this. Can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah,
Couldn't.
I mean, at a certain point, you gotta consider some comfort.
Yeah, and Amy was like, I think cold is our kryptonite. And I was like, I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think she might have said, I think cold is your kryptonite. And I said, you are 100% correct.
That's
correct.
crazy because I would not have ever said that.
I
Because
get,
compared to me, you have no limit.
there was a moment where like she's being all cute and like we were always like making songs out of things and like singing silly songs and stuff. And I'm trying to like go through the checklist in my mind. We're like getting the back of the car together. And I'm going, okay, you know, you have to have a system of like where you put the keys, where you, because everything,
Yes.
you got blankets everywhere.
Yeah.
You got headlamps. It's fucking pitch black because you got those like sun blockers on. So, I'm like going through my list and everything, and she's like singing her little song, and there's a moment where I go, honey,
That'll do.
I love you, but respectively, shut the fuck up. And then we laughed and laughed and laughed about that later. But it was so now it's just like, respectively, shut the fuck up.
For real.
And that's me saying that. Me.
Honest to God, I gave myself a Christmas present this year, and it was heated apparel, which I have formally said that's ridiculous. And I wear it inside my house.
Well, I told my girlfriend this, and she said, "Do you think we need this? I think we should get this. Should we get this?" She was like,
Wait
"Should we
till
get
you
socks?
plug
Should
that
we get?"
baby in.
I was like, "She's like, maybe this is the end. Maybe the socks. Maybe that's what we
It's
do."
life-changing.
And like, you know,
my only gripe about it is like there's 3 settings, and I'm always wanting the hottest.
Yeah.
And it automatically downgrades it like without your knowledge. And I look down, and instead of being red right here, it's white. Or, blue is the lowest. So it's red, white, blue. And I'm like, white? And I'm like pumping up the jams.
Trying to like keep you from 3rd-degree burns on your skin.
Honest to God, I was probably wearing it 10 minutes before it downgraded. I thought, does this thing not know? Do you know how many days I could wear this without being like, I should take it down to the 2nd level?
My nerdy guess is that's for battery consumption.
I don't care. I'll recharge.
You don't
I'm inside. I could recharge right away.
Says, I'll choose when I downgrade that heat. Thank you.
I will choose, and I will.
Much.
I think at least it could just buzz and be like, "Hey."
I know there's some techie person who can like hotwire that to make it. You know, if they can like take off that auto start thing on your car or auto stop thing. You know.
Yeah. Well, I guess
your warranty will be void, but
I'm gonna have to stay on top of it because listen. I want it back up on the red all the time.
Yeah.
It's so great.
Toasty.
You would love it.
Yeah. So now my passion is being warm.
That's always been my. Why do you like camping and snowboarding then?
Well, because I said it's never too cold. You just have the wrong gear, and that's true because people live in all different kinds of temperatures. People in Antarctica are in like -1 bajillion degrees doing all their sciencey stuff.
But they're not happy.
But when I wear the right gear, I was wearing I was trying to look cool. And I wore gear that was cool, not functional.
Yeah.
My functional gear, I was like, no, people think this brand is nerdy now.
What is it? Tell me.
It's this brand called Montec. It's like this, less expensive ski line that came out, but it's very influencer driven. And a lot of times the people who wear it, this Montec, and then their snowboard line is called Dope Snow. And it's like often the people who wear it are the people who are doing the dumbest shit on the mountains and are the ones with like their speaker all loud and like just being assholes. And so it's gotten a reputation of this is what there's a whole
subculture.
A whole subculture. So
how
I'm
do you know about that?
Because it comes up in my Instagram feed.
People making fun of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, oh God, this is like, but you can get away a little bit more with the ski line, but the snowboard line is like, oh no, that's like what the vibe is out there. And I don't want to be mistaken for that because I'm already being called ma'am, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
I got to do everything I can, So, right. So then I'm just using my like old stuff that I picked up at the secondhand stores and no. So.
Damn. There's so much to consider.
So much. I mean, in this ridiculous. It's just, live. Right. Or you could stay inside, which is kind of what I'm doing because there's no fucking snow.
Yeah, you could stay inside and you could take a class on SEX. And learn all about it from Beducated.
Yes.
And I highly recommend it.
And maybe if you take some classes, you will be comfortable in being able to say things like sex.
That's true. It probably will liberate you.
Yes.
But more importantly, I feel like people will learn how to make themselves happy,
Oh.
how to make their partner happy. They will learn skills. Listen, it's a skill.
Sometimes,
you have to learn.
And sometimes you don't even know, like, you don't even know the language or how to, it's to even describe what you want or describe what you like. So sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, seeing examples, not, like in a classroom setting, in a place that's not intimidating and scary.
Experts.
And it feels like, and you're getting the right information delivered to you in like a way that really empowers you is so helpful.
It's helpful.
To like increase good communication and healthy relationships.
I was just reading articles about how like the generation now just has only known a world of like just porn.
Oh God, I can't imagine.
Lord knows that is not indicative of actual practices that are going on or should
for
be
men or
on.
women.
Yeah. And so Beducated has 150 plus courses that you can take from experts about everything there is to know, like self-pleasure, kink, just the mechanics of everything.
Yes.
And now they have a quiz and you can take the quiz and then you get personalized suggestions. It's like a roadmap to sexual happiness.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you what, I think a lot of people
I want to take that quiz.
I'm telling you, it's brand new. Give it a whirl because you probably will learn stuff about yourself too,
Because listen, maybe you're a woman like me who was married for a long time and dating men, and you're like, now I want to learn about women, and I don't know where to start with that.
It's a whole new ball game, so to speak.
Yeah.
And you should download Beducated. I will put the URL in our show notes, and you can click the link to take the quiz, and that'll be in the show notes, and see what you think, and give it a whirl and see if you learn a thing or two about a thing or two. Yeah. Okay, moving on.
I've hijacked this whole thing with talks about nothing.
That's okay. We have so much to learn, so much to talk about. Okay. Ooh. Okay, we'll start dark and we'll get light. How about
Okay,
that?
I like that.
Did you happen to see the Andrea Yates documentary on HBO?
Well, clearly not, because I don't even remember who Andrea Yates is. But the name rings a bell, but now I can't.
She is sadly the gal who had 5 children and unfortunately
oh my God,
killed them all.
Okay, yeah.
And so there's a new documentary about her on HBO, and it's called The Cult Behind the Killer, the Andrea Yates story.
I think I may have seen a clip from this where they talk about how her doctor really said you should not have another child because the likelihood of, and there was a lot of religiosity that was, oof, God, okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when this happened, like early 2000s, it's so shocking because, number one, the concept of what a mother is supposed to be, and even just the dynamic of their family, just sort of quote unquote normal. And so for this gal to drown all 5 of her children, and seemingly have no emotional reaction that's apparent, was just like,
well, it's very obvious that there's a lot wrong.
I don't think anyone was
serious, wires crossed.
Yeah, this is a sick person.
Yeah, I bet if you scanned her brain after that, we'd see some brain damage in there somewhere.
Yeah, something. People were upset and devastated and horrified, but I think everyone also felt what you're describing, where you're like, something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
Somebody that is normal doesn't do that, and somebody that is healthy doesn't do that.
Right.
But it felt incomplete because there are a lot of people who are mentally ill.
Right.
There are a lot of moms who have postpartum who don't do horrific things. Mm-hmm. I thought, okay, well, I knew that they were religious because I've been trying to communicate with Andrea for years, because obviously she would be like someone I would be so excited to have as a penitentiary pal. But I've gone back and forth with her attorney, but it was clear that she wasn't well. Mm. And she's obviously been found guilty, and she lives in like a mental
Yeah,
what do they call them now? Mental hospital? I don't know the like name for where they put these people.
Mental psychiatric hospital?
Yeah. And I've never gotten to communicate with her, and I know that she lives there and she's very busy with like crafts and does things, but like holy shit.
Oh, she's probably completely disassociated, and there's so many.
I think so.
Yeah, and to me, it's so. Obviously, I didn't see the documentary, but just based on what you're describing, and like, what we can logically conclude is like, in the same way, like the Rob Reiner situation was so extreme. There are just sadly these very extreme cases, and luckily it is so rare that it's not everybody who has postpartum is ever violent, but it's kind of like what we've said about the like the light bulb in the light socket, how it has the light bulb has to be in the light socket, the electricity has to be paid, the light switch has to be flipped, and all of those are different variables that then leads to this, that there are a lot of things that had to maybe happen in order to trigger this kind of, that with the different, like, who knows, there's something, but it's so great. It's so uncommon. Thank God.
Truly. But in a way you start to think like, I don't know how it is, because it seemed so ordinary. It seemed so ordinary a life that then to have something so extraordinary manifest, you think like she didn't. Number one, thank God, but how?
When they say the cult behind the killer, what is the cult?
So the documentary on HBO is seeking to describe an extreme fundamentalist evangelical Christian worldview that was taught to her as an adult by this guy, Warnicki is the last name of the guy. And he was one of these guys that you see on the corner with signs.
Got it. Okay.
Like very extreme point of view, fire and brimstone kind of guy.
Right.
Very extreme beliefs about family and morality and whatever. And here's what is so baffling. Andrea Yates' husband, Rusty, who is in the documentary and cute as a button and everything like that, Rusty works for NASA. This is a very bright guy, very smart, very like seemingly loving. He's a family man. He loved his kids. He loved his wife. And when she had postpartum after the fourth child, and these were in rapid succession, that she referred to herself as Fertile Myrtle.
Okay.
And they both had agreed they wanted as many as God gave them.
Okay.
Well, a lot of times when we agree to that, well, we don't know what the reality is going to be like. And I think in Andrea's case, that got to be a little much, and her brain couldn't recover from one baby to the next.
Right.
After the fourth, she had essentially a breakdown. He took her to the hospital, and they told him, you ought not have more children.
Right.
she will likely have the postpartum again
God, yeah.
because she was catatonic and whatever.
Wow.
And also self-harming.
That should have been like, oh my God. We've come a long way in 26 years.
But they're telling him, like, they're treating it appropriately.
Okay.
And he said, I thought it was basically like the flu. And if it happened again, we'll treat it in the same way we did this time, like the flu. I'm telling you, he said that in the documentary after all this time. He's still, like, he is clearly a man who's gone through so much. I mean, this man lost 5 children.
Oh my God. I can't even.
Sarah.
There's more to the story than like their upbringing. I want to know
her
role.
family was in it. They were like, we weren't raised like this. This is crazy. We told her this Warnicki guy's nuts. She wasn't raised like this. She got hooked up with Rusty, but it's weird because he doesn't seem extreme. But he did like the
vulnerable.
teachings.
Yeah.
I think they were very invested in this traditional religiosity of like, you submit to your husband and you have all these kids and you raise them right. And she homeschooled all of them.
Dude,
they were living in a bus for a period of time, going around telling everybody about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated how relatable it was, I got to tell you. And you know what the worst part of the whole thing is? And it was very relatable because I heard this phrase so many times growing up. In these Christian communities, they have a phrase that they say the age of accountability. And that refers to an age, and that can vary between traditions. But there is an age at which people believe you become accountable, and then you become responsible for whether you're a Christian or not. And if you die, you go to heaven or hell. Before that age, you're going to heaven, because how would you know? You're a baby. You're 2, you're 3, you're 4. At a certain age, you then, if you died, you have to answer to God.
Okay, so she's saving her children from having to answer to God.
That she was a bad mom.
Yeah.
And she wasn't getting her kids into heaven. And to remedy that, she drowned them all individually, starting with the oldest down to Mary, who was 2 months, and believes still to this day that she saved them from eternal damnation.
This is so sick and so,
it's so
not
sad.
Well. Yeah, it's really sad. It is a very unwell person.
And that phrase was like burnt into my brain of like, you better be sure you're right with God before that age. You better be sure you
That's really scary. What is that age?
Well, in their faith, it was 12.
Oh, my God.
12 years old.
Because
after
that's like saying you have to make a decision about the
eternity.
I
still can't fathom eternity.
No.
And that if you make the wrong choice.
That's very scary. And how difficult that is to undo. That even people who are out of the church now, like you say, that those messages are still there. And that's why I love EMDR so much, because you can go back and really undo those and look at those with the awareness that you have now.
Mm-hmm.
So I recommend that for people who have like left the church, but maybe still feel this like guilt that lingers, that they don't know where it comes from.
One of the main people in the documentary was a man named Moses Storm, who's a comedian now, but he grew up in the under Warnicki's tutelage and had the same type of family. And he describes what it was like as a child growing up in it and how scary it is. And how when he found out about the Yates children, he was jealous because he thought, wow, their mom like gave them the gift of eternal life.
Okay, see, that is a cult. That's brainwashing. That is not, oh God. That's very scary.
It's so sad.
It's really sad. Like, they say like people are allowed to have their own beliefs as long as they don't hurt somebody else, like themselves or someone else. And to me, this does not pass that.
What is surprising though is like in whatever form this changed Andrea's like brain synapses, motherhood and then the religion, which one of my favorite parts of the film was a man giving commentary that he said that her religious ideology was the trellis upon which her mental illness grew.
What a beautiful way to put that.
Right?
Yeah.
And that
because it
as
does
soon
kind
as there's a scaffolding like that,
that's exactly, yes.
Something that is already there, which is something is unwell about her brain, can then cling to and grow in a way that it wouldn't without it.
Absolutely.
And so you just, right?
When you think
and it doesn't
about
have to be that.
Yeah, you can see how, like, that scaffolding in the hand with a narcissist
Absolutely
looks one way.
Yeah.
With a person maybe with schizophrenia looks a different way. You have your devotees and you have your charismatic leaders, and you can kind of see how, when you think back throughout history, it kind of makes you wonder if the people who were,
Almost always.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yes. Because once I pictured that trellis and the ivy of mental illness growing and thriving.
I can see it.
You just are like,
yeah, because you know what? And then when therapy, what it does, it like prunes that it comes along and like, nope.
Yeah,
we're not going to grow down there.
Sure?
We're not going to grow down that way. Let's change that thought. That's what we're like pruning and getting rid of those paths for it to go down. That's a very good visual for that.
It was one of those moments, and that's why I love documentaries. It was one of those moments where I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
That is what I've been trying to get my head around and didn't have the visual for.
You know what? And I feel like I can really use this as a therapist to say, like, how is, not maybe in the sense of like that to think of like the way that those negative thoughts or whatever, that your scaffolding doesn't have to be religiosity. It could be the messages that you were told by your parents who said, whatever, you're whatever the parents say that make you're
which is built upon their own bullshit.
Yes, you're insignificant, you're not enough, you're whatever. So that's the scaffolding. Then the anxiety, all that it just grows. And so we almost, for each of us, for ourselves, have to recognize how out of control, like where is it growing, and how we have to like prune it back. And
you almost have to decide what you want your scaffolding to be, and what trellis you want to be the foundation for all the stuff in your brain
that's going to take root
that already exists.
Yes. Yeah, that's really good.
It is. It was really important. I thought, I'm so glad I saw that, because that is useful.
Because you can be like a believer of the Bible and all of that, but like, listen, like let Jesus' teachings
the red
be the
letters,
scaffolding.
People.
Do that stuff.
Read the red
parts.
parts.
That is the important thing, I think.
Right, and if you realize that you can actually decide what that is, that's empowering. It's not predetermined.
Yeah.
You can choose.
And you know how, how you can take a plant that maybe has already grown a bit, and then you can train the vines to grow in a different direction.
Yeah.
That it's never too late, and that you can redirect that. You can
make
that trellising
that every day.
Go in a different direction. And,
every day I wake up and I say, it's never too late to do the right thing.
Oh, I need some more of that messaging.
Because it is true. Because I'm always like mad at myself, and I'm like, oh, it's okay. it's never too late to do the right thing. Like you
That's
can,
good.
today could be the day.
Yes. Yeah.
But unfortunately, Andrea was taught that the right thing,
You're right.
it was so misguided.
Yeah.
And
Oh, God.
what I wanted you to like try to provide for me, and I don't know it's possible, but like once that happens,
Right.
and like, why can't anything undo it? Why can't anything wake her up to see you didn't have to do that?
Well, I think in the same way, like if you had that like a rose bush that's then trellised and really attached, it would take a lot to really take down all of that and remove it. And have you ever seen somebody try to like rip out a rose bush?
So like
without,
in her estimate,
up and
like
all that?
her brain is
it's-
so invested in, especially now. Of
now,
course you're gonna
forget it. Now,
really
forget it.
Okay,
Because
okay.
fucking get it.
Yeah,
Because that reality, she could not hold that. It would break her.
God.
That would, if all you want to do is be a good mom and that would absolutely break you. She can't even hold on to that. She's like
it's really sad.
disassociated, compartmentalized, whatever you want to call it. She would sooner, it would be more likely that she would have another personality emerge, like a different version of her, that was this person and I'm this person now. And that like dissociative identity disorder, that's who you'd see that. Like such extreme trauma that that's the only way that the mind could even allow that kind of, but it won't. And so like, to go back to your question of like, how do you help? I think those people who are, what are they called? Deprogrammers.
Deprogrammers,
Yeah. So the people who like have maybe previously been in cults, who are able to really understand. There's a great guy that's a cult expert. I'm sure you know who he is.
Yeah, I know
who's
that
in
guy.
the Moonies. Yeah.
And he works on like teaching people about deprogramming and all that stuff. Yeah.
That guy. You need somebody who's going to be with such understanding and and it takes, like they all say, it takes so much time.
I guess I get frustrated because it doesn't feel like it takes that much time to cause it.
Right.
It feels very easy to cause it, and it feels almost impossible to undo it.
Well, don't you think that's everything?
I know. That's why I'm mad
think
about
it. Like it's so easy to make
Like
my house messy.
Yeah.
It's really easy to clean it up. It's so easy to eat a chocolate cake. It's way harder to
lose 10 pounds.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
There's currently a pretty active cult in Boulder in Colorado that I just found out about that recruits people from a deli called the Yellow Deli. Yeah. And they
must have really great sandwiches.
Right. People will go
think
there.
about it.
There are all these like people walk by and they're like, "Oh my God, this is the cult," and then they go, "Yeah, but the food's pretty good."
Well, it must be.
Yeah.
What's their pitch?
They also go to festivals. They also go to festivals and they try to recruit people who have had like bad trips. And like I can't remember what their thing is, but it's definitely patriarchal. Like women are subservient and
they're making sandwiches.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wish Andrea's story was like that simple, but unfortunately,
no,
it
it's
was
so
much worse. And that's the thing. These ideologies, if they are in the wrong hands, become deadly.
Okay, think about, I mean, I know it's not the same thing, but think about, what is it, like unknown number or whatever, that one with the mom who was text messaging her daughter.
Yeah.
That was just regular, no scaffolding of religiosity. Yes. That was a scaffolding of maybe you're not enough kind of thing. Like and we saw that and talked about in our doc club, talked about how, or Candy Unwrapped, talked about how wild that was and how extreme that was. And it feels like that paired with whatever that was, paired with the other stuff is what, like, it's like those are pieces of. We saw pieces of this Andrea gal, and it was already horrific.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you're right.
Like, what is that? Dear Zachary, that we've seen pieces of this, but then when you like combine it, holy shit! It's like okay, we fortunately and unfortunately, but mostly unfortunately, live in a world where we are exposed to these stories that
can reveal the extremes of malfunction in terms of human
what we want to remember, and this is like where we can't let that anxiety grow. We got to like prune that, do our own pruning to trim that back. It's like focusing on the plane crashes versus the planes that take off and land. There are so many planes landing. Everybody's fine. There are so many. You're a great mom. Everybody listening, this is not you. You are doing wonderful. You are just fine. You are not going to do this. But that anxiety will make you think, what if it's me? No, let's look at the planes that are landing. Let's look at you're all doing wonderful and fantastic. And the fact that you're even thinking, oh my God, is this me? Already shows that it's not you. So you're okay. Because I know that like urge to.
Well, and don't be susceptible to someone telling you otherwise, which is what happened to Andrea, where she believed somebody was telling her, you're not doing enough. You're not doing enough for your children.
Right. Oh my God. Don't believe that.
Yeah.
Don't believe that.
Certainly not some doofus man.
Yeah. I love what you always say maybe you don't always say this to me, but you said it once and it stuck in my head. And I say it all the time. I even say it to clients too. Think about the most average person you know. There you go. That's the most average person.
50% of the people you know are worse than that.
And you're probably in the better category, right? So like give yourself a break. Like that's you gotta like fine. Get realistic.
You're fine.
Yeah, you're fine.
Basically anyone telling you you're not is probably the problem.
Come talk to me.
For real.
Sarah@solutionsoc.com. Come send me an email. We'll get you started with some therapy or some life coaching. We'll
For
make
real.
sure.
Anybody that's telling you something like this dude was making her feel, they need to look in the mirror.
Right.
Because that is probably about them.
Probably about the childhood that they grew up with and are angry.
Yeah. They need to go see Sarah too.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
All right, we spoke too long about Andrea. Yeah. All right. Okay, I have a gripe. It's not really a gripe. It's just a question with a gripe underneath it.
Okay.
And my apologies to my sister who I know
What's the deal with? Fix it that.
It kind of is. Yeah. What's the deal? Okay. It's just that I've noticed something in culture and society that is a new development, and I want to know why it's all of a sudden happening, and also say, I don't know that I'm a big fan of it. And again, my apologies to my sister Renee, because I know that she participated in this, and I love her, and I'm talking about everyone else. Okay. When did we start letting grandparents decide what they were going to be called by their grandchildren? Because it's ridiculous.
I would agree with you.
What the fuck? I had Grandma Meister and Grandma Young, and that's it.
And I almost feel like the name that a grandparent name needs to emerge organically in the same way a nickname would.
Almost like the child mispronounces grandma, and then it becomes Gee-ma, and then it's whatever.
Exactly.
Gaga.
Yes. Or I'll give it to you if there is a like cultural thing or a different
regional
language. Like
that, in our area, we say grandpap instead of grandpa.
You're allowed. And
But why are we being like, they call me Googa, and it's because I love that.
Nope. I know what this is.
What is
these are other women who need to go to therapy. This is a resistance to getting lumped in a category with grandmothers.
Yeah, they don't want to be old bitches.
Yes. This is, I'm not grandma, whatever. I'm Mima or Mimi, which is different.
Totally.
And that means I'm not an old lady because, you know, when people go, Mrs. Butler's my mother, you know, that's like grandma's I know a grandma and I ain't that. Like,
totally.
I get the desire, but to all the women,
because it is all women, by the way.
Of course it is.
The granddads don't give a shit.
But you know what the granddads are doing? They're doing their own version of this. Not getting hearing aids. I'm not fucking kidding. That is the same energy.
Right, I'm fine. I can hear.
That is the same thing. They're not getting fucking hearing aids. So if you are saying, "Oh my God, I hate that my husband is always saying what?
We're with you.
I've been telling him to get hearing aids."
With you.
Right. What he's resistant to is accepting his own aging process.
And mortality.
Yes. And so we're going to be gentle and kind to him through that. And we're going to be gentle and kind to you as you accept that you are a grandmother.
Yeah. And listen.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
You can't tell that I'm really passionate right now because of all the Botox in my face. So I get it. I don't want to age either. It's disgusting. Yeah. But you're not fooling anyone with your Mima bullshit.
Right. I agree. Now, if the baby starts calling you that and it's just then we go with it.
I don't think they know that's what inspires this, though. I think in their mind, they think it's just like, no, we just want like a cute something, a special something.
I can hear my own mother. My mom's like, no, I'm Nona and da-da-da. And I'm like, okay, that's fair because you live in Costa Rica and that's like kind of allowed. And you're like a kooky, witchy mom. Like, and you lived in Italy.
Italian.
And so you can call her Nona and that
different.
Feels
I'm talking about these like fucking nicknames that have nothing to do with being a grandma.
Right. I totally. Right.
Nona's different.
Nona is a grandmother in another language. I totally agree. Yes, Mom, I'm not talking to you.
No, I'm not either.
Yes. This is, I'm so
talking about
fucking
Pete,
agree with you, Susie.
Whatever the fuck.
It is the resistance to facing their own mortality. And Susie and I are saying that as two women who
don't want to face their own mortality.
Don't want to do it. I'm telling you. I'm still sleeping in the back of cars. trying to chase my youth, going to raves at the Mary Jane 50th birthday bash. You don't need to. I know. This is the pot calling the kettle. Yes.
The Mary Jane 50th birthday bash. I love the specificity. It's so funny. But yes. And you know who started this, I think? The goddamn boomers. Yeah. They cannot accept. They think they are forever young and they are now like 80 fucking years old.
Because they're the first, I think they're the first generation to be healthier into your old age. So they are very active throughout retirement and they're not doing the things and they have all that fucking money because they lived in that good old times where they actually have a retirement. And so these are people who are like, I'm going on cruises. What do you mean I'm that? You have to call, like, I'm not a grandma.
You're fucking right, Sarah.
I
you know what?
And really, if you are able to call yourself, if you are asking to be called Mima or Mimi or whatever like that, then first you need to make sure that your children have houses. Then you can demand what to be called whatever name you want. But if you're sitting on 2 homes or 3 homes,
you're right.
And you are like, I want to be called this. No, you're hoarding everything for you and everybody's struggling over here. And so what you should do is you should take care of them and then they'll probably be like, what would you like me to call you? That's
you nailed it because
that's what I think. Thank you, Susie.
The boomers, why we're all mad at you people? Yeah. None of them are listening to this,
I know.
Why we're mad is because they got all the good stuff of like modernity. So they got like all women could vote.
Right.
And feminism.
You can go to school. Right.
Whatever. And then they also got the benefits of the former traditional society, which was, retirements.
Right.
and a
middle
living
class.
wage,
Right.
and middle class,
and
like,
houses that they could afford. When I looked at what
truly.
my mom, what she bought our house for, I was like,
Yeah.
what?
So they got both
That's less than my
of it,
car.
then fucked everybody over, and now they're all like, I want to be called Meemaw, Bebop, Boop,
Right.
Boop.
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
No. Give me your house. That's what I would be like. I see these
funniest response.
I see
ever.
these parents that are like on, and often they'll be like, well, mostly I see their children on Instagram where they're like, what the fuck?
They're pretty happy
My
too, though,
parents
because they are going to inherit all that.
Yeah, they will. But like in the meantime, but then you get these ones who are like, I'm going to teach them hard work, and I'm going to teach them the value of like,
oh no,
and that I just can't.
No, ma'am.
I just
I'm
can't
sorry.
imagine. Like, you know,
You have a pension? What's that?
Like, right. You know,
a pension. Can you even imagine? Like, I don't even, I'm glitching. Like, I don't even know what you mean.
Right.
A pension this bitch has, and she's going cruising.
Yeah.
And her husband's into like antique cars.
Right.
And he wants,
right.
He doesn't care what he's called, but she wants him to be called, you know, Poop Pop.
And they're just like wondering if they can like afford daycare, but they don't want to let grandma and grandpa because then it's like a whole thing. Yeah. So
thank you, Sarah, for rallying with me.
I'm totally with you on that.
I didn't even expect you to really even. Thank you, but
because
also,
I don't think that you like, and also you can ask to be called whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't mean we're gonna do it. Like.
Well, that's
I mean,
true.
unless you're that goes for
unless
grandparents.
you're bankrolling something,
yeah,
I'll call you whatever the fuck you want.
Or unless it's your preferred pronoun, in which case I will absolutely call you whatever you want. That's totally different. This only applies to straight
this
cis,
is different.
Like your grandparents who don't know.
Yeah,
you know.
Thank you for listening to my rant.
Yeah, I totally agree. But I do think it's the aging thing. So I think the men should check their hearing. And
that is 100% true.
I know.
Okay. All right. Next gripe actually is there was an article on Vox about the problem that we already know exists, which is that there are too many quote unquote service dogs on airplanes.
Yeah.
And that there really is no answer. And so I wanted to sort of like outline the problem and see if we can decide what our opinion is about what the solution is. Because I don't know the answer.
I know. I got one.
What?
I think that there should be pet-friendly flights. I think that there should be an airline. You know who the airline that really does it well?
Airline.
Yeah, I think Alaska Airlines should take what they're already doing, which is
what are they doing?
They're the best. Alaska Airlines are so good.
Okay, I like this.
When you have a pet, they have first of all, they are really like, if you have you have to have all your vet stuff in order. And I know this because I took my dog internationally. Like I would take her to Costa Rica, which is very hard, like flying internationally, and she's going down below. So I've had her come on board with me and I've had her go down below.
Which is always like rolling the dice. They might die.
Right, exactly. Not with Alaska. They're very good at, they have a person who's like been assigned to be your dog, like boarder,
chaperone.
Chaperone, and they give you a little ticket.
Escort.
And then when your dog goes on the plane, they personally walk on the plane and they give you a little ticket that says, hey, your dog has been, and they check a little box that we gave him food and water and pets or something cute. They write a little note. I'm not kidding. And and I felt so good. And I said, people wouldn't try to be sneaky with it or try to pay you already have to pay a fee or whatever. People wouldn't have to do that if they trusted the airline to actually take care of their animals, which are like our children now. Let's just face it. This is it. So why don't we have and why don't we have a pet friendly airline? So I think Alaska should expand. And don't you think that airline would be the fucking most you can charge a little more. I'll pay a little extra for that. You could say a with pet is only this much more. I guarantee you that would be.
Yeah, like the We Love Animals
Yes,
Airline.
and you can make it all like we sign the liability. You can make it all
Yeah,
so
we'll
you're
sign
covered.
it.
That so it's not a problem. That I really think that that's the way that they should go. So look at that.
I
That's-
agree with you.
dude. This is
this-
Susie
yeah,
agrees
this-
with Sarah podcast. I love this. So far,
And this show isn't sponsored by Alaska Airlines, but if they
Right.
want to sponsor us,
I will happily show. I'll get a dog to show people that process and how easy it could be.
okay. So at first blush, when I read this article, I'm annoyed in the way that you would expect about like these fucking assholes that pretend that their dog is a service dog and it's like some fucking geriatric chihuahua.
Right.
And you're like, that dog ain't saving anybody's life.
Right.
But when you think about it, why wouldn't they when service dogs go free, number one,
Right.
and are allowed to be outside of that dumbass carrier?
Uh huh.
Whereas if it's just sort of a dog that you're bringing, you got to pay $150 each way,
Right.
and they got to be stuck in that little case for hours on end.
Right.
And so it really does encourage people to lie.
Right. Right.
What is the incentive of being ethical when you are letting, and then what happens is all these dogs that aren't service dogs are masquerading. And so then people that actually have service dogs are like
Yes.
judged
Right.
when it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm fucking paraplegic and whatever. So everyone would benefit if you would just stop being dipshits, airlines. And you know what? This is a job for Sean Duffy of Real World Boston.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you, the time where I did lie about her being a service dog is when I went
didn't even know you did.
I did. Is when I went to go, when I had to go, and my mom fell out of the building and I had to go there and I couldn't wait the time to like get all the paper. But the good thing is that it is impossible to get a wheelchair in Costa Rica. So I was bringing with me a wheelchair on the plane. Like I had to take a wheelchair from America to Costa Rica.
Oh my
So
God. I thought you were saying you pretended to be.
Well, I didn't correct anybody or I lied by omission. It was like,
Did you get in the wheelchair?
sure as fuck did. I was pushing the wheelchair.
This is
through.
my favorite Sarah
I walked the wheelchair like I walked it the most of the time, but it almost seemed like I had a condition where I maybe needed the wheelchair sometime. I might need it. And I had a service dog and I had a wheelchair. Who the fuck is asking that lady a thing? And if they did ask me, I'll tell them the truth. Here's a picture of my mother.
Oh.
Do you think I should not
get the
come?
whole thing because you, did have to bring it.
Yes.
And it's so funny. I just wish I could have some sort
I
of
guarantee you,
footage.
I have photos of me at the like because it was such a crazy time where I'm
Of
like,
course.
I
You
was
were just
documenting
getting
this because
through
I
it.
was like, this is insane what I'm doing and what I'm about to walk into. Like,
I've done worse, Sarah, believe me.
it's crazy.
It's so funny. My only regret is that I wasn't there.
Yeah. You would have
Honestly.
really loved it and you would have really committed to the bit because then I could be in the wheelchair and you would have pushed it. You would have been like my caregiver. It would have been a whole thing.
I just saw on a tweet or whatever about how they did a study that showed that the most effective bonding technique, more than romantic love, is like committing a crime together.
100%.
I feel like this is why you and I are so close.
Absolutely.
You know, like there is nothing I wouldn't and haven't done for Sarah.
Same. And you know, the things that we've gone through that have bonded us haven't been crimes, but they sure as hell have ridden the line.
Oh.
You know? Like, they're
I
like,
can't even repeat most of them.
right. They're like, it's not a crime. And it's definitely we're not wrong for doing these things, but it wouldn't be a wise choice sometimes.
I wouldn't say it's our finest hour.
Right. I'm thinking of a lot of Brazil.
I'm thinking of a lot of more recently, to be honest with you. Like, I just feel like
So what? Who cares?
there's a lot of don't ask, don't tell going on. That's so funny. But you know what? It becomes easier when you or I or the person thinks they're being screwed by someone or a business or whatever.
Yeah.
And you think, hey, this is what I have to do.
Right.
And I'm telling you, in this case, the airlines are basically begging people to lie.
Yeah. Absolutely,
and
they are.
all it's really hurting are actually disabled people.
And absolutely. Yeah. Just to get the expedited vet papers to get on that plane.
Yes, I've been
cost
there.
me hundreds of dollars, and my cousin is a vet who did it. Like, I still had to pay all that money even when I knew the vet, because there's like the FDA charges and all this or whatever. I think it's whatever it is, the USDA or whatever, Food and I don't know, whatever it is that controls all that.
Enforcing it, I don't know who.
It's not the FDA, but it's like the U.S. Department of Agriculture, I think, that
and
you have to
the
go
loophole that everyone is exploiting is that to be an official service dog, to be a service dog, typically it takes a lot of rigorous training.
Yes, absolutely.
But the loophole is that people can self-train their service dogs, which makes it more accessible to people in like rural areas that are genuinely in need of these animals. But then the people can exploit it who are just like, I trained my dog.
Right. When I saw somebody with a service dog vest on whose dog peed on a sign in the grocery store. And I was like, ma'am. And it was like a little white dog. I'm like, that dog ain't serving nobody.
But you can't say anything because then what if?
Right. Okay. And I won't, but
no.
Clean up on aisle 7.
Sean Duffy sorted out.
Yeah.
I saw this story and it really got my wheels turning. I love a switched at birth story.
Yes.
Because it's just, it's horrifying and it could happen. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often because
absolutely
they all look the same.
Absolutely. Especially I'm more surprised twins don't get mixed up more often. I think they do.
I don't know how they keep track of them.
I would have to go back all the time and be like, can you tell me which one is which? Like, can you put a mark on their foot or something?
I bet you any money, like half of them are like reversed to what they were at birth.
I think you should check.
No,
if you're a twin,
Sarah, I actually think we're blowing the lid on.
We might be.
Twin names. Okay.
I really should put this closer because
we should talk to more identical twins and be like, are you sure who you
like
were
real
at birth?
identical.
How would you know?
With like hippity dippity parents, like the ones who were like,
and even like as if hospitals give a shit. They're like, this one's
if I were a twin, my mom would have been like,
I guess
I can hear her. She's like, no, I would have known. No, you would have been like, they don't know.
All right. Well, this is a tale of switched at birth where these two moms had these babies like a half hour apart in South Africa. And then they were both single moms. And then years later, there was like a paternity case with one of them that required that the child, got DNA testing. And that's when it was discovered.
Oh my God.
They were 2 when this was brought to light.
Okay. 2 seems like maybe there's still some
Swapsies, I know.
Trade
For
back.
real. And I've had a kid and I'm still like 2. I mean,
I can't believe I'm saying that. But
I couldn't believe I thought that.
I would want my I don't know what I would want.
This is Sarah. Sarah, that is exactly, your reaction is exactly what I felt and I wanted to explore because it brings so many elements to your mind of like,
God.
what is love? What is a family? Like, what would
I'm
you
panicking.
do? Okay,
Well,
I
in
want
a
to know
way-
what you would do. Let's say you're one of these moms and
Yes.
you guys both find out and you're
Yes.
like, okay, now what?
Now we are best friends and we are raising these daughters together. Like, in a way, we are.
Right.
We are going to have to be in each
We're
other's
gonna have
lives,
to-
and we are
Would you
essentially like
keep-
co-parenting.
Would you keep your original one? Like the one that you raised for 2 years? Or would you say like, let's swapsies, but I'll still see that other one that I put to bed every night and breastfed?
I know. Okay. Here's...
And love, I should say.
There's no right answer.
I know there
And
isn't.
I know that I can't even fucking fathom this because I'm not in that
is driving
situation.
me crazy right
But
now.
what I think I would want to do is a like slow over time, like more time
Swaps.
with each one. Like,
Why though? Why do you think have like them be your birth child is so important?
because it almost feels just for like
I know.
medical stuff, like
I
as you
know.
grow up, like there's so much that it's very helpful to know about my own medical history. Not when I started having
I know.
problems, that became really helpful to know that you have like and the people that I've heard of where they've found out that they were, adopted or didn't know or something
It's
like that.
fraught.
There's a feeling that you don't belong, and I wouldn't want that child to have that feeling. And I think after
Everyone
knew,
knows.
then you can't.
Everyone knows.
What are you going to lie to them? Then they're going to say, "Why didn't you want me back?" Like that'll be a thing because you want to be chosen by your own mother. It'll feel like a rejection, like a core wound. So, for the child,
Let me tell you how this transpired.
Oh no.
This is why I love old gossip, and I highly recommend watching old 60 Minutes on YouTube because then you can look up what's going on now. Because now they're like, in their 30s.
Oh my God. Yeah.
These boys. But like they were interviewed several times.
It's funny. I pictured in my mind, I pictured them as girls.
Oh, yeah. These are two boys. One is called Robin and one is called, what is the other one's name? I can't remember, but part of why it's so is because one mother was poor and one mother was not.
Oh my goodness.
And so what we ended up with were children who were switched at birth and then got totally different upbringings than they would have otherwise. And so the guy that ended up rich accidentally, he acts like a guy
entitled.
That was, yeah, and they said like, do you feel bad for? It's like telling that I only remember the poor kid's name. Do you ever feel bad for Robin? And he's like, not really. No. And like, doesn't care.
So they stayed. They just said, we're gonna keep it.
They stayed like that. Yes. They decided to stick with the ones they got that were not their birth children. And unfortunately, they didn't live close to each other. Because as you pointed out, like you could arrange something where it was just more of a communal situation. And I think that's probably the best possible way.
Yeah, because you have to understand that this is so unique. This is
complicated.
Not complicated. And it's going to require a complicated solution.
I don't know how they all agreed, because what if one wanted to switch and one didn't? I don't know.
Oh, well, I think the one with the money won.
Well,
I guarantee you.
Well, that's a good point. I don't know if they all were all in agreement, but that's what they did. They stuck with their kids that they got, even though they weren't their birth kids. So then at 15 is when I'm referring to, when you can see that, Gavin is the kid that was supposed to be poor but was raised rich, and he's just he's a smug asshole. And the other one, you can tell, Robin, is he's crying. Aww. He's sad. He's at that age that I have a teenager now, and I see that it's confusing, and it's life is feels so fraught and scary and whatever.
And who am I? And
he's like, this kid gets everything, and I'm hanging up my laundry in the backyard, whatever. And he really wanted to go with his birth mom, the rich mom.
And then rejected him.
They both ended up there. They both chose the rich mom.
Oh my God, that poor mother. And the
poor mom was just left with nothing.
Oh my God, that's so sad.
It's so sad. the
This
Robin
lady stole her
this-
life. Yeah.
the sad kid, he stayed there for a couple years and then realized it ain't all it's cracked up to be. Because, you idealize stuff and you think it's going to be great. And then you're like, fuck that. And then he left and started his own like adult life basically at 18.
Jeez.
And like, I guess I'm just trying to parse out what the answer is, and there isn't one. Like, once this error has happened and you have raised a child that is not your biological child for 2 years, and then you realize there is no good answer.
Yeah, this is where I think like technology and things like, scanning irises or whatever is a good, helpful technology. That wouldn't it be great that
Why
when
aren't they
that baby
doing that,
comes out,
actually?
you get a little scan, match. And then when you leave, you go scan, match. And then
If we're
all the
going to be
babies-
doing that anyway, to fucking log into Gmail.
Right. Can we, if you need my facial recognition, can we do like a little facial recognition or something like that on the match of the parents with the baby when they leave the hospital,
Yeah,
please?
because they're not. And it still feels like,
Yeah, that needs to catch up. We need,
why is that the Wild West?
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like. And I don't know why there isn't more mistakes. God bless the nurses that are keeping track of all this. But my God.
They're doing
And I got to
too
tell
much.
you, why is he still poor? Why was there not a settlement?
Yeah.
That hospital
Yeah.
should have given that lady a
Right.
goddamn a lot of money.
Absolutely. Sorry we messed up your life. Good Lord. Good story, Suze.
Thank you. It was just like, I can't get it out of my head.
Yeah.
And you just think there is no right answer. It is an impossible situation. And God bless all the people who had to live through that because I don't know what I'd do.
I don't either.
Anywho, thanks for indulging me. I had a lot of gripes that I didn't know about.
It's okay. I agreed with all of them.
Oh my God. How did we come to this place?
Well,
We've slowly morphed into like one person.
Yeah. Very well-rounded person.
Over time. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. And be sure to go to thebrainkittypodcast.com. There's where all our sponsor codes live. Anytime you use one, it helps us. And if you go to patreon.com/braincandy, that's where our reality TV stuff is. So that's helpful. And also 5-star reviews.
We love those. Yeah. I
We
haven't
love
seen any
those.
new ones lately. So come on.
What are you doing?
And we look. Hello.
Okay.
Get over there.
Thanks. We'll see you next time. Bye.